All right, so you ready to dig into something kind of different today?
Always up for a challenge. What do we have?
Okay, so we've got these excerpts from Wikipedia, right?
Mhm.
And a film analysis all about, get this, Wall-E.
Wall-E, huh? The Pixar movie.
Yeah. And I know, sounds a little kid-friendly at first glance, a robot, a trash planet. But seriously, this film, total masterpiece. This deep dive is going to blow your mind, I promise.
Okay, you've piqued my curiosity. What makes it so special?
Well, on the surface, it's this charming story, but underneath, it goes deep. We're talking consumerism, the environment, even hints of how technology and religion play into it all.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack for, what is it, like a 90-minute animation?
Right. And here's the thing, they pull it off with barely any dialogue. We're talking about Wall-E, this little robot, and we learn almost everything from what he does.
Show, don't tell. Classic filmmaking, but especially impressive in animation.
Exactly. Compacting trash, obviously that's his gig, but then he's collecting these little treasures.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a pet cockroach, this thing for the movie Hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
It's those details, you know?
It's how they build character, and it works. We empathize with this rusty little robot, even though he communicates in beeps and whirs. In fact, the film analysis I read, they actually compared Wall-E to an archaeologist.
An archaeologist. Get out.
Seriously, like, he's meticulously collecting and preserving remnants of a lost civilization. Think about it, those treasures he finds, they're relics.
Whoa. Okay, I'm seeing this in a whole new light now. It's like a museum of what we used to be.
Exactly. And it makes you think, if that was all that was left, those random objects, how would they tell our story? It's a powerful way to frame the choices we make today, you know?
Man, that's deep. Okay, so we've got this lonely, hardworking robot preserving the past, and then he meets EVE. Talk about a contrast.
Right. She's sleek, modern, all sharp edges and efficiency. The classic opposites attract, but it totally works.
It really does. Even without tons of dialogue, their love story is, I don't know, it just gets you.
It speaks to that very human need for connection, that spark. You know, it ignores the differences, or maybe it's drawn to them.
Totally. And for Wall-E, Eve represents hope. Like literally she falls from the sky, this sign that maybe, just maybe, there's something more out there beyond all that trash.
And she's not just any visitor, she's there on a mission, right? From the Axiom.
The Axiom, that massive spaceship where the rest of humanity's holed up.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting. We leave this desolate, garbage-covered Earth, and we board this luxury spaceship. But, spoiler alert, it's not exactly paradise, is it?
Not even close. In fact, it's kind of creepy. We finally meet the rest of humanity and, well, let's just say they prioritize comfort over, well, everything.
Yeah, comfy, but totally dependent on technology. A little unnerving, to be honest.
Just a tad. And in some ways, it's scarier than the whole abandoned Earth thing. Right?
Definitely gets you thinking. And from what the director, Andrew Stanton, has said, that was the point. He wanted to show how dangerous it can be to rely too much on technology.
Oh, for sure. He talked about that in the DVD commentary, right?
Yeah, he called it the slow creep. You don't even realize it, but you lose your motivation to do anything for yourself, even in relationships. It's not that tech is bad, but it can mess with what makes us human.
And it's not just like forgetting how to use your legs, right?
Right.
It's bigger than that. They've lost their sense of community, purpose. I mean, they're living in this high-tech bubble, but are they really living?
That's the question, isn't it? The Axiom's all about ease, effortlessness. Even the captain, you think he's content, but then Wall-E shows up and shakes things up.
Totally. You see that little glimmer in his eye when Wall-E shows him those trinkets, those pieces of Earth. It's like this longing for a home he never even knew.
It gets me every time, that scene.
Me too. Something about those twinkling lights, the music from Hello, Dolly.
Yeah.
Loud in the background.
Pixar knows how to tug at those heartstrings, right? That visual storytelling, it triggers something so primal.
For sure. It's like that yearning for connection, for something real, something, well, human. And speaking of which, the film doesn't sugarcoat what happened to Earth, does it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's bleak, seeing the planet buried in garbage like that.
Makes you think, right? Like, are we headed that way?
Well, the Wikipedia article did mention that the average American generates over 4 pounds of trash per day.
Whoa! Seriously, 4 pounds. Okay, yeah, suddenly Wall-E's world doesn't seem so far-fetched.
Right. It's like a cautionary tale, but also a call to action. And it's not just on individuals. The film makes that clear. They point the finger at, by and large, this mega corporation.
Yeah, by and large, they're everywhere in this movie, controlling everything.
Food, products, information. It's like they've infiltrated every aspect of human life.
Creepy is the word, for sure. I mean, there's that scene in the Axiom's classroom, and the robot teacher's like, B is for, by and large, your very best friend.
Talk about corporate brainwashing. It's satire, but it makes you think about how much corporations influence us, what we buy, what we value.
Totally. And in Wally's world, it's like, by and large, his obsession with profit, with making everything easy and disposable, it's what ruined everything.
Exactly. People became so comfortable they forgot how to think for themselves. And the irony is that comfort is what led to their downfall.
Heavy stuff. But here's the thing I find interesting. The film doesn't just demonize technology, does it?
No, it's more nuanced than that.
Right. It's like finding the balance. Technology is not inherently bad, but we can't let it rule our lives.
Exactly. It's about using it responsibly, not letting it control us. And that's where the ending comes in, right? Humans and robots working together to revive Earth.
That little seedling that Wally finds, I swear, every time, gives me chills. Seeing it grow into this huge tree.
Such a powerful symbol of hope, right?
And then, in the credits, seeing humans and robots side by side rebuilding, it's like,
Optimistic, right? Like maybe we're not doomed after all. Maybe we can learn from our mistakes.
it's true. There's this whole hopeful message woven in. It's kind of what makes Wally stick with you. You know, it's more than just, oh, cute robot, cool adventure. It makes you think about our world, our choices.
Definitely. It goes beyond entertainment. It sparks these bigger conversations, even in academic circles. It's been analyzed from all these different angles: film, philosophy, environmental science.
Right. It's like this little animated film became this cultural phenomenon. I even read about this guy. He was so inspired by Wall-E, he built a life-sized replica.
No way. A working one.
Yeah, like not just a statue, but a fully functional robot.
Mm.
Apparently way more advanced than anything they've got at the theme parks.
Wow. That's commitment. I guess that says something about the power of Wall-E, huh? It inspires people.
It totally does. It's like that urge to create, to build, to connect with something.
Yeah.
It's like Wall-E himself, right? He finds beauty in this discarded world. He's like an artist turning trash into treasure.
He really is. And in doing so, he inspires others to see things differently. Even the captain, even us, the audience. It's like this reminder that even when everything seems bleak, there's still room for wonder, for hope.
One little robot carrying the weight of all that. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Wall-E, I got to ask, what are your final thoughts? What do we take away from all this?
You know, for me, it's a call to action. We can be passive, let technology consume us, or we can choose to be more like Wall-E. Curious, compassionate, willing to work for something better.
I love that. He reminds us to look closer, to find beauty in the unexpected, and never, ever lose that sense of wonder.
Exactly, because even the smallest acts of kindness, like Wall-E carefully placing that little plant in the boot, they can have a ripple effect.
For a movie with so few words, Wall-E sure does have a lot to say, huh?
It sure does. It's a testament to the power of storytelling, of connecting with something larger than ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, it'll inspire us to create a slightly less trash-filled future.